In a college not so far from my own, I fell in love with my best friend, Barb. How's it going, everyone? I am Mr. Slaughter, a high school physics teacher, and I am sharing with you my life outside of school. Before I explain how I proposed, let's start off with how we first met. It all began when we chose the right direction. After swiping and matching on Tinder, I mentioned that we should get together and build a blanket fort, which I think is awesome and a good way to connect when you're first getting to meet someone. In order to see one another for the first time, we had to overcome a blizzard. Then we spent the night laughing about a missing scarf in the movie Hercules. Some of our memorable adventures that followed were paddling through a fountain, swinging our feet from the east to the west coast, staring at the stars, playing Mario Kart blind, hammocking in the middle of a lantern-lit park, seeing baby monkeys defy death as they dove into the tiniest puddle of water imaginable at the zoo, crying at the death of Spider-Man, listening to Eurovision, losing a couple of fingers to a megalodon, moving in together, and talking about lights in the world of theater and physics. With every one of these adventures, one thing is for certain. Whether we're at the movies, at a park, on a pond, or on the dance floor, I am so lucky to have met Barb. Now, moving forward onto January 5th, 2019, when I proposed to Barb, the day started off with a single letter, which was the first of 7. Each letter contained a clue, which took Barb and I on an amazing adventure. Each clue brought us closer to Lincoln Park Conservatory in Chicago. Along with the clue was a Pokemon card. When Barb and I were first getting to know each other, we asked each other about what Pokemon we would want to have as an ideal team of 6. Barb responded with Ninetales, both the normal and the Alolan version, Milotic, Tropius, Absol, Delcatty, and Mudkip. So a total of 7 if you count the 2 different variations. After opening a few of the envelopes, Barb realized that I remembered her answer to that question. I tried to throw her off by having the 7 cards instead of just the 6, and using the 2 different forms of Ninetales, but it didn't work, it didn't throw her off. To help ease Barb and I's stress of surprises, I broke up our adventure into 7 pieces. Inside letter 1 was Milotic and a clue that led us to clean up and get ready for the day. Inside letter 2 was the Alolan Ninetales and a clue that led us to pick out our clothes to make sure that we look good in any pictures that were to come. Inside letter 3 was Delcatty and a clue that led us to a nail salon. Inside letter 4 was Tropius and a clue that led us to lunch. Inside letter 5 was Absol and a clue that led us to Barb's best friend from college and our photographer for the night. Inside letter 6 was Ninetales and a clue that led us to the Lincoln Park Conservatory. I wanted to make sure that I found a place that was warm since it was still winter time and would allow us to take off our coats with some tropical photography options. When we got to the conservatory, my heart was filled with so much happiness that it was very difficult to speak and I could feel myself getting choked up a little bit. In the last letter, it said, "Dear Barb." This is the last letter to read. It is thought that the legendary Pokemon are the most important ones of the game. I disagree. I think it is the first Pokemon we choose at the beginning of the game that is most important. That Pokemon is the first Pokemon we use in every battle. It travels the entire region with us. It is the first Pokemon we evolve and is the first Pokemon we get to level 100. Just like that Pokemon, you are the one that I want to go on every adventure with. If you will have me, I want to use this diamond stone to evolve our relationship. Now is time for the big question. P.S. I love you, sweetheart. After the letter, I got down on one knee and pulled out the ring along with my drawing that asked, "Will you marry me?" To my joy, she said yes. Now we have one more evolution to come on our wedding day. To finish up the night, we visited Mindy's Hot Chocolate, which was an amazing place to visit. Barb got the dark hot chocolate, and I got a butterscotch hot chocolate. I highly recommend that you check it out if you are in that area. I hope you enjoyed the story of our engagement. The next video in the works is of Barb and I dancing together. As always, stay safe and stay curious, everyone.